Hey y'all, I just recorded my first album and we're putting the mastering touches on it. It's going to be coming out either this week, next week. And I just want to come out here and give you some tips. Now, before I even get started, I'm going to let you know I'm finna talk to you like I'm your auntie or your grandma. So, yes. Which brings me to my first point. This is not for the weak. This is not a game. They were not joking when they said that this is not for the weak. Whatever can happen is going to happen. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to want to cry. You're going to get mad. You're going to feel like you don't have enough money, whatever. That's going to come. And you got to be ready to roll with the punches. So before you even think about recording this album or putting out a project, you better be prepared, okay? Which brings me to my next point. There's going to be some people who don't like what you're doing. There's going to be some people who are going to say stuff to you that's not the nicest. I can tell you from experience. I had somebody cuss me out, talk to me any kind of way, whatever, told me that I wasn't ready and told me that there was nothing left in my hometown. And just because they saying it don't mean it's true. When I came back to my hometown, it was the complete opposite. The complete opposite. You know, it hurt my little feelings at first, but then I got to a point, it was just like, why would I care about what this person is saying? That it doesn't matter. The reason why people are going to say stuff to you or say things that aren't as nice is because of the fact that they don't see what you see. They don't see your vision. And it's not your job to convince them of your vision. It's not. And a lot of times people be saying stuff to you because they see something in you that you don't even see in yourself yet. That means you got something, baby. So that brings me to my next thing, saying not everybody deserves. And I'm not sure if I said this already, but not everybody deserves to know what you're doing. It's all right to work in silence. So that brings me to my next one. This is how I went about this album. Okay. Write out your future plans. You're going to have 2 journals. The first journal, you're going to write out your future plans, what you want to do. Whether it's the genre of music that you want, your branding, you want to make clothing, you want to, travel the world, where you want to play at, all of that. Write it all in one place. And the reason why I'm saying this is because the more you write this stuff down, the more you start making steps towards it. It could be your notes app, however you want to do it. Before you know it, you'll look back and be like, oh my goodness, I did this already. Strongly believe in manifestation. Strongly believe, in having faith on something and it will come to you, And that has worked for me personally. I got my notes here, y'all, so I'm trying to make sure I don't take too much of your time. But after you write down the stuff you want, the genre you want to make, whatever, study, become a student. And this is what I mean by that. Listen to the music that you like, that you want to create. For me personally, I like funk, soul, and R&B music. So I do a lot of that. And I just, was like, man, I like the bass style in this. I like the guitar style they have in this or whatever. I like all of that. I should try and find some sounds that are similar. And then on top of that, what I like to do, you find somebody that's at a higher level that's doing what you like. You find somebody that's at the same level as you. And then you find somebody that's up under it. And you see the things that you should do, the things you shouldn't do. And do that with your project, okay? One of the things I love doing was listening to a lot of indie music. I listened to indie music of like people who didn't really have the skill set yet or didn't have the money or didn't have the recording equipment that they needed. But their music was so loved. You could hear the humanity in their stuff. And the more I listened to that, I was like, if they can do it, I can do it too. This person didn't even have the same equipment that I got, and they made an album, a whole album that people love. It got millions of streams, millions of views, whatever. Do it. And on that, I want to say that I want to let you know that it's important for you to create this project because of the fact that there's somebody that you can motivate as well. You never know who's looking at you. Just because it seems like something that other people ain't doing or whatever, that don't mean you shouldn't do it. Just do it. Just make it, you know? So then, this is the next thing. You got to work with what you got until you can get what you want. For me personally, I was somebody who's always hear full arrangements in my head, but didn't have no lyrics. And I didn't know where it was going to come from, what was going to happen, whatever. But you know what? I was like, here, let's get the arrangements together. Get your voice memos. A lot of people say that. Get your voice memos. Record them down. Before you know it, you have a full song. You have all your ideas together. And your brain gets so used to putting, sending you creative ideas and putting it out. And so they'll just keep coming, Then the other thing, I was like, well, I do want to write my lyrics, but I don't know how. This is where the other journal come in, y'all. Get you another journal, your personal writing journal. Ooh, not the train. I'm outside, y'all. We in Florida. It's hot. It's muggy. The mosquitoes, the gnats, everything is out here. So if you see a little sweat on my brow, that's what it is. So I don't want to see all the comments talking about how sweaty my brow is. Which if y'all want to, that's all right. Go for it. But anyway, before I even made this project, I was in some very heavy, like personal life things, not so fun. And I had to take some time to heal. Go to counseling. If you haven't had any counseling, you really need it, go for it, The thing that my counselor told me, she said, Nikayla, you need to start writing down your feelings in a journal. I started writing down whatever. It's how ugly it is, how gross it is, how sad it is, whatever. I would write it down in that book. And then after that, I wouldn't read it. I wouldn't read it till like days later, maybe a week later or so. And every time I would go back and look at my stuff, I noticed that it started sounding like poetry. And I wasn't even doing it on purpose. You can use that. You can use what you write down. And if you don't, you get to sit down to your arrangement that you recorded and you sit and then your words start coming. Why? Because your brain is now used to you writing down your feelings. I had one other local artist here from my hometown. I was teaching at a nonprofit, and he was the lyric writing teacher. And he said, Nikayla, lyric writing is like a muscle you have to exercise. And ever since he said that, never forgot it. Shout out to him. Shout out to I Give. Literally. And he wasn't wrong. However this thing comes out, you got to trust that. You got to trust it. Your creativity shouldn't feel forced. It should feel natural. And there's a lot of people who are like, oh, you should finish this or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't be too overly, perfectionist. Get it out. But you should make what you like, not what other people like, and you should let it come naturally because it will. Those are all of my quick points so far. I don't even want to take too much of your time. But I love y'all. I'm rooting for y'all. And I'll see y'all next time.